Okay, I think you can hear me now. I was trying to do that by myself, like be a big girl, put on your big girl pants, Jeannie, and it didn't work. I was missing one step. I was so close. I don't know why it doesn't stick in my brain, but there's just some things that don't stick. I remember the stupidest things, and then the important things, well, I don't always memorize them. But let me, I'm going to start out today with, hi, Molly. So sorry I'm late. Okay, today I'm going to start out by doing the filler blocks. And I know that's not on the sheet, and you guys can work out on whatever you want to do. I know I was so close. So I have to apparently open Arian on my phone, and then I go to Streamlabs on my computer. Well, I have to open Arian on my computer too, and that's the step I missed. And I just had to sit here and wait patiently for Mr. Patrick. And so let's do filler blocks. And I'm going to do, because I didn't stitch together the long skinny ones. Should we start with that? Here are my filler blocks. So I have my, whoops, my camera's not there. Here are my filler blocks. Oh, you know, actually I did bring my walking foot so I can piece these together. So you're going to piece these together. Some of you have already done this, right? Should I do this in the end? I'm not firing on all cylinders today. Okay, let's put this to the side, but I do want to do these. Maybe I'll grab a sewing machine while those are stitching out. And we are going to be stitching out. I printed my thing a second time this morning. I had a heck of a morning. So be patient with me, my friends. Hi, Miss Brenda. Hello, Miss Shelley. We've got Miss Cheryl on here. I see Miss Lila. Miss Molly, have you and your sister been stitching together? Hopefully you have been. Let's look at... I'm hoping my spreadsheet's here in the bottom of my bag because I printed it out again this morning. Give me just a second. Desktop. Falling into autumn. And I've been modifying and adding to the spreadsheets as well. Of course, I'm not seeing it. Let's just print it again. LaserJet. This is what you get for doing a sew along with me, right? All right. So I did do almost all my homework except the filler blocks. And is this it? So I'm kind of happy with myself that I at least got all the embroideries done. And I think, well, up to now. So what I've gotten done so far is all of these embroideries and then all of these embroideries as well as these two. Oh, actually, I have all of this. Nothing stitched together. Still haven't gotten there yet. We're going to be working on this today. And then maybe I'll just stay here late and do my filler blocks. But why don't we go ahead and let's just start out. We'll, let's just go in order. And I loved these. Did you? I just absolutely love those. I don't know if you got to stitch out the piece pumpkins. I think it was just that flannel fabric was so stinking cute. Oh my God, I just loved them. Did you guys stitch those out yet? You're at the filler blocks. So you know, just because that was homework, Molly, I am going to do those filler blocks and I'll do them today. I'm going to do those today, but I'll do them at the end in case people have already done this. Since it wasn't on the agenda, let's just do those at the end. How about we do, is Songbird next? Hey, Dana.
Oh, yes.
Could you grab me what just printed out of the printer? I printed the spreadsheet, which I did this morning, but then, of course, left at home. Oh, you know what I'm scared of? I'm scared I didn't bring all my embellishments. All right. We're going to do Songbird. And little Songbird, he is in the 4x4 hoop, but because we're doing the background quilting, it's gonna bump us out of that hoop. Thanks so much. And it's gonna bump us into the 5x7. So here's what we're working on today. It looks like my printer needs to be refilled. Songbird, page 40, we have it right here. We're gonna do fruit 5. And here's all my goodies. I don't pre-cut my foam. I just kind of use it as we go. And I'm gonna I brought my own hoops from the house. And then you know what I do? I steal them because when I got home I had 2 5x7s, which I don't have. But I was thinking, oh, this is kind of nice that I have 2. Maybe I should just get another one. So I think this is like the last one I stitched out, or on this muslin. People always ask, why do you use muslin? I use muslin because number one, I like the way it feels. Because the other option is what they recommend, which is the light mesh cutaway, and that to me feels plasticky. So we carry the 90-inch muslin in our store, so I just cut strips of it and I just keep embroidering on it. So I'm going to go ahead and hoop this up. Look how cute the hay was. Who else finished their hay? The hay was so cute and like kind of like textured. That was super fun. So I'm going to go ahead and hoop this. Finally, we're on track right now. I normally would have been like freaking out, like, Patrick! And I don't know if it's like age or that I'm just tired. I was just like, okay, I'll just wait. I'll just wait. And then you guys had to wait. I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you. Okay. And this is pretty snug. I'm just going to pull inward. Remember, you're pulling in, not up. That'll just unhoop. I always run my hand across it to make sure it is laying nice and flat. Hi, Miss Wanda. Let's come on over here. I'm at the store today. Patrick was like, do you want to stitch out from home? Which I should have done because it's not as distracting. But I wanted to be in the store. Whoops. How about that? Is that better? Whoops. I don't know what is wrong with this arm. So maybe that's better. There we go. Let me grab my USB. I left it on the long cord so I would be able to find it. I brought all of my like little cutting hoops so that just in case we had time, I could trim my blocks too. Where is my USB? Oh, here it is. Look, I already plugged it in. So this is what I use. I bought these on Amazon in like a little 2-pack, and then I just leave it in my machine. I usually leave it in my lower USB. I just plugged into my upper USB, and then you can plug, you can highlight whichever USB you want to use. Let's go embroidery, pocket, and I'm gonna grab my sheety sheet. We're on the lavender today. I've had a couple people request that I just do black and white, but for me, I really like, I don't know, the color helps me. You can always choose black and white and not choose color. Maybe what I'll do is when I do this, I'll just make sure I choose light colors. But it just like differentiates like what day I'm going to be working on. It just helps my mind organize itself. So I'm going to come up here, and this is my falling into autumn. And I'm going to grab my background quilting. Thanks for the glide chart. Now I know wasn't that chart great? Dwani sent that to me, and I don't know if she's doing that and she's adding the colors each time. But I just love that she shared that with us, and now you can get organized. And Cheryl, you didn't have to do it yourself, right? It takes a village. We are doing Songbird, so it's fruit. We're doing fruit 5, 4x4 horizontal. So fruit 5. Mine might just have, and I'm PES, it might just have the 4x4 horizontal because my kit is the instructor kit and just has the background quilting that's going to be used in this quilt. So I'm going to go ahead and set it. Let's choose our hoop size. That looks like a 5x7, but let's just check. And we are 5x7. I'm going to go ahead and say okay. And let's go ahead and add our Songbird. Songbird, do. Falling into autumn. Whoops. This will take you back just one. If I hit return, it's going to take me all the way back to the main embroidery screen. So I'm just going to hit that button here. Here's my embroidery files. Again, I'm PES. And we are going to do Songbirds. What is everyone working on today? I know you're not all stitching this. And then I wrote in here it's centered. So I don't think we have to move it up or down. It's going to be centered. This screen, they're two separate designs. If I move them, they're going to separate. Once I hit embroidery, and because my hoop is on and locked down, I can hit my move up arrow and it will not go out of the embroidery field. And by doing that, we don't waste all the stabilizers that's in between these two designs. It's going to stitch right here at the top, which I think is awesome. Like, you know, let's save. And let's go ahead and stitch. First thing I'm going to do, color doesn't make a difference. There just happens to be some mint green up here right now. I'm just going to leave it. And let's go ahead and stitch the batting placement. Let me grab my spray tent. You know I'm a sprayer. And I'm going to spray my batting, the bumpy side, because that's the wrong side and it's going to go down. And this looks like my background fabric, so I'm going to grab that too. Let me put them in my spray tent right over there. I brought my own spray can because I love it. It's just like kind of worked in right now. So, you know, when you have a good can, wait. Watch me like overspray. It's barely coming out. All right, we're gonna go ahead and lay this down. And now remember, we're gonna skip some steps. So if you're doing quilting and then the embroidery, we are skipping steps 2 and 3, and we are just doing placement for the batting and then tack down for the background. This is directional, so make sure you just like you're nice and squared off when you put this piece down. Okay, let's come on back over here. Move my spray tent so I can see your comments. Just watching today. Oh, hand binding. Shelly, I have never hand bound anything. I think I would love that. You're gonna have to teach me. So, okay, I just got to this screen. The way I did it was number one, these two screens, one is on top of the other. So I'm just gonna touch it. This shows me what I'm stitching out in my color list, but this button here will allow me to go back and forth. And that's what I like to have up here. So I'm skipping this step. Tack down for the batting, placement stitch, and tack down for the background. I am going to do that. Color doesn't make a difference. I think it's always nice to do a contrasting color. So let me go ahead and stitch that out. And then we're going to do our quilting. Let's see, for the quilting stitch. This is pretty busy. I think I'm just going to go with linen. And I've been changing and adding colors to the list. So I'll add that one. I think it already says linen. Linen's one of my favorite. As you can tell by my thread that's almost all used up. Why won't this stay? Ugh. Okay, I contacted them to see if they could send me something else. Like, this one is like really not staying well, huh? I might grab another arm. Okay, I'm going to put my linen in. We're just going to be dealing with this little filming arm, maybe flopping down a little bit. I'll just watch it. And this is going to be stitching out those adorable apples. Oh, you had a nasty test. I'm sorry, Cheryl. I love these. I don't know if anyone has these, but I have these and I put them like right by my feet so I drop my threads in there. There's all different ones. We have Gypsy Quilter ones, and this is the one that's made by OESD. But if you don't have one, you should get one of those. They just come in handy. Or just like a little waste paper basket. Oh, okay. Sorry. Tightening that up too. Tightening this one up. Okay. Hopefully that's gonna stay. Let's talk about the other threads we want to use. So, oh, you know what? Were we supposed to? Do we have to add I have iron on vinyl here. Iron fusible backing. Oh yeah, this doesn't call for iron on vinyl, does it? It doesn't. All right. Uh-oh. You know what this calls for that I'm not seeing here? Is my orange spice. Hang on a second. Hey, Michelle, can you find a piece of, I'm sure we have it. Sorry, a piece of orange spice. There's going to be scraps.
Is that felt?
Yeah, 2.5 by 2.
Yeah.
I need this.
Okay.
2.5 by 2. And just put a piece of Shape Flex on the back.
Can I put these in the system?
Yeah, please do.
Does $3.99 sound good?
Look it up. Huh?
$3.40, $3.50, or $3.99? If it was $3.40.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I'm out of sorts. Okay, Songbird. Next step is going to be, it says, load the embroidery file into the machine, stitch the bird base placement line. So I'm going to do that in a color that we can see. The first color that's going to make a difference is going to be ginger, which is like that mustardy color. So let me grab that. Oh, then that must be a relief for you, Cheryl. You know, it's so frustrating when you have to wait so long, especially since January. That's just crazy. Okay, I'm going to get this a little shot of spray. It has Shape Flex on it.
So Shape Flex, this be big enough?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's totally big enough. Thank you. And you know there's that whole drawer with Shape Flex scraps.
Okay.
In the tower.
Okay.
Okay. Let's lay this down. Although you don't have to have these colors. I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And then let's get out our snips. So I've been loving these snips and I keep talking about them. Hopefully I remember them. And look, I didn't. They must be at home. I'm going to use my second favorite pair, which used to be my first favorite pair. These are my titanium ones. They used to be my first favorite, but now my favorite have been the Havel ones because they're just a little bit longer and a little bit... Oh, wait. Okay, mistake. Sorry about that. Flexi foam. It's been a while since I have demoed the Kai seam ripper anyway, so I guess it was just time. And you can't skip that flexi foam. And the tack down line is just a little bit inside. So it's really important to do that flexi foam. I learned that from, I can't remember which project. So this is like a little razor. This is a Kai seam remover. And it just makes it so much easier, I feel like, than to have to pick out like a little thread. But you do have to kind of get it going. Just peel it back. Don't be too aggressive because you can cut that fabric, but... Sorry about that. I just went on autopilot and just started laying down, right? But this is always good for you to see. I love this seam ripper. There we go. All right, there's your demo for the best seam ripper. Although, you know, I love all my seam rippers for different reasons, just like I love my kids. I'm going to put this down. I have to go back a step. So we're going to go, this goes to the next step, that goes back a step, and that makes sense because it's orange and that's my tack down. I'm just going to kind of hold this down here. There should be plenty of thread if I can get this to just stay. Here we go. Everything is covered. Well, Rebecca, happy you're here, and thanks for joining me for my first mistake of the live feed. Let's hope it's the last one. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and trim this. Let's look at the instructions because that's what I wasn't doing before. And it says trim the foam close to the stitch. Then we're going to do the placement line for the yellow fabric, but I'm going to skip that because you know it's going to go right over this foam. I just like snipping with, whenever possible. I think the snips are my cutting tool of choice because I just like the fact that I can just kind of pinch my fingers together and then cut. Now what I love about my Havels is they're just a little bit stronger, like I was saying. Okay. Next step, you're gonna see the, thanks so much. You're going to see the next step is blue. That's placement. We don't need it because we know that yellow piece of fabric is going to go right on top here. So I'm going to skip it and I'm going to do the tack down, which is an orange. Fabric is already ready, but look, it has all these threads in it. So I'm just going to pull it. Tack down is usually like a, is it a triple stitch or just a double stitch? But it usually is, and so this did leave some holes in it. So I'm going to kind of try and lay it down like right over that. And it's going to have a satin stitch. Whoop, sorry, bouncing the camera. There we go. I'm just going to lay it down like this. It'll be pretty close. I'm not too worried about the satin stitch. Rebecca, that was just so you could get a real live experience stitching with me. And all my imperfections. Hi, Miss Kim. How are things in New York? Did it stop raining? Okay. We did our tack down, trim the fabric close to the stitch line. So now we're going to go ahead and just trim. And I love Kimberbell, like their instructions. Here's step 4, and then there's pictures to show you what step 4 is. They've changed a lot since I did my first project. I mean, everything is just like, they've added lots of different icons. So I think they just, and when you're used to doing Kimberbell, it just, for me, everything just kind of makes sense. And I really, really love it. If you're, you know, a lot of people who do designs from like Anita Good or something, you need like just a period of time to get used to it. But I really think they do a great job with their patterns and their instructions. Especially compared to how they used to be, because they just keep getting better and better. Cute. Birds are always so cute. Extremely hot. Hot, hot, hot. Oh, I didn't notice. Somebody has fabulous news. I am group and I know what I'm fixing it. But it's such good news. Let's hear it. I want to hear it. You can't leave us hanging like that. I didn't even see that. Okay, next color isn't going to make difference. I'm just going to hit start. Hear it from the, I want to hear it screamed from the mountaintops. There's our wing. So Michelle was nice enough because I don't have my piece of felt here. So she went and stabilized. Mine might be a little bit bigger. Anytime you're using felt, I would definitely put Shape Flex on the back, because what happens if you don't is it frays so easily. So I always put Shape Flex on the back of my velveteen, even when it doesn't call for it. I can't take my eyes off the chat window because I'm like dying to hear what Colleen has to say. Colleen, are you pregnant? Colleen, is that the good news? Are you having a baby? We love babies. All right, here's the wing. Trim the velveteen close to the stitch line. Okay, let's go ahead and trim it, and then we're going to be sign stitching. I'm going to go ahead and take this. Still looking at the chat. I think it's extremely hot everywhere. It hasn't been as hot here. Or did my chat window not refresh? Does everyone know the good news but me? Okay. Oh, here we go. Oh my God, congratulations. Colleen, I'm so excited for you. I know like what a relief it is for people to get that news. Congrats. Yay. All right, we are going to put this in and stitch the bird satin outline. I already have my ginger in there. No baby. That would have been fun too, right? Yay, congratulations. I know there's a lot of people that go through what you're going through, and so, yeah, congrats on that. What a relief. Oh my God, and stage 4 too. I'm so happy for you. You're gonna want to get for the eye, beak, legs, and tail detail. It calls for a brown, and the kit came with dark brown. I've been using brunette. What a relief for you and your family, and you don't have time for cancer. You've got Kimberbell projects to stitch out, right? Whoops. Sorry, that was my camera arm just working all on its own. Just swung out. I'm adding these colors to the list right now. So Songbird, we're using ginger. I'll put dark brown or brunette, whichever one you want to use. And then we're going to need ginger again, and then burnt orange. Colleen, you've got a lot of people in your corner. We've got a great community of people here too, if you ever need support. None of this cancer nonsense. I love this quilt too. This one is like, it's so sweet. And it has so many fun parts to it. Oh So Delightful was fun. You know what I loved about Oh So Delightful is that it was like back to basics. It was pretty simple. This quilt, I would say, is a little bit more advanced. So, yeah, there's going to be some more technique in this one. So it's kind of nice to go between like different quilts and do something that is a little more mindless, and then something that you have to kind of have to think about. You might learn a little bit more too. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put in my brunette right now. We go. Oh yeah, prayers and good friends, right? Prayers and good friends, family, all that love. I'm still thinking a baby would have been fun too. I think I saw your, so it's funny because if you have a Gmail account, when I enter your name into my system, a picture will pop up. I still haven't added a picture to mine, so just like the letter J comes up. But I think I saw your picture, Colleen, and it was very cute. But, you know, sometimes I'll be talking to people on the phone and I'll put their information on, and they might have loaded like a picture of their dog or their grandkids. And I was talking with somebody. I was like, oh, your dog is so cute. I can't remember, somebody the other day, they had a picture of their golden retriever. And I just thought, oh, what a cute dog. And then people were like, how do you know what my dog looks like? But it pops up if you've got a Gmail account. Look how cute he is. Did you notice that? Like his adorable little head feathers. And then grab your burnt orange, which is such a fun color. And we are going to do, there's little feather detail. Go ahead and do this.
Patrick is your guy. He is the one that knows what stock he has. I wish I could help you with that.
How'd you like, I don't know if any of you were on for the live feed today. How'd you like Q? I wish I could have been there, but I had an appointment this morning. How'd you like Q&A? I was listening. I was in an appointment, but I was watching it on my phone, and I was like, oh, I love the way how Patrick explains it. I was caught because he said there's a little stop. So when he was talking about the needle, like up in there, there's like a little, he called it a little stop. I liked his wording. I like when other people explain things, because sometimes their wording makes more sense than, you know, my nonsensical wording. So I'm like, ooh, I like the way he explained that. Like one of the texts was explaining, we sell these SIBO vacuums and they get warm because it has like a cloth, like the body of it is cloth, and he said it vents the heat. And I was like, ooh, that makes so much sense. So I've been saying that lately. I love it. All right, what's next before I lead you astray? It's going to do this detail and it's going to do the satin outline, and then we're done with the bird. How quick and easy was that? And you can put in a different color. I'm just leaving this in. I guess they wanted the wing detail to be in the ginger, but I did mine in just the orange. So go ahead and change it out if you need it. Hi, Miss Pam. Do you have beautiful gray? I just remember thinking you had beautiful gray hair. And I think it was straight, right? I think it's straight. I just remember thinking she's beautiful. Saw your picture. But I don't want to creep people out by being like, oh, I saw your picture. And I just keep, those are my inside thoughts. Yeah, I think that's something like once you stitch it out, then you like notice how cute it is. You don't really notice until you stitch it out yourself, and as it's stitching, you're looking at it going, oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, that's so adorable. All right, we can get the next one ready, and I should probably like be more productive here. I need to be more productive. Crunchy leaves. We are going to be doing crunchy leaves. That goes 6 by 8, which means we're going to go into either a 7 by 12 or an 8 by 12. I'm right, Colleen? Long, not long. It wasn't in a bob, but like straight gray hair. And I was like, oh, she's got beautiful gray hair. Because what I'm learning is there's different grays. Like there's platinum gray, because my mother-in-law has beautiful gray hair, and she always tells me how people compliment her gray hair, like how pretty it is. Because not everyone has gorgeous gray hair. I'm going to be one of those people. You probably have seen it in their live feed. I do not have gorgeous gray hair. My mom did not have gorgeous gray hair. It kind of like streaked. I wish I could be like, you know, all gray. Like once it goes gray, let's all go gray, but it's going to be like a slow, long, painful process for my graying. That's why I still dye my hair. I keep trying to not, but then I do again. All right. Are we done? Yeah, this one's done. Let's go ahead and take it off. 3 years to go silver. I would 3 years to me is fine too. I'd be happy with 3 years, but my mom never, it was always just kind of streaked and not really, like, I just want to go gray. So, these are all my colors I'm using. I know the thread kit has, 12 colors, but I'm using, like, everything. Anything that might look good, I'm going to use. So, here is, oh, I can't wait to do those. Crunchy. Is it called Crunchy Leaves? Yeah, it's called Crunchy Leaves. We're going to do Crunchy Leaves next. Everything's all put together. Just grab and go. How nice is that? And I think this is what I was using for my 8 by 12. Once I have one done, you can like cut it off. I never cut from the front. I always flip it to the back side, and that way I can see where my last stitch line is, and I can cut in between those. So let me go ahead and cut that last one off. It's always nice to have a good pair of scissors. I like these. I have Gingers that I think some of you have heard my story. I went to juvenile diabetes, the JD, you know, the fundraiser they do. I forget the other two. Fundraiser? Is it JD? FR? Is that what it is? So, and somebody had donated a huge basket of sewing stuff. And I was so excited. It was a silent auction. And nobody bid on it but me. I was the only one that bid on it. I was so excited. And it had so much great stuff in there, like cutting mats. It had 2 pairs of these. Are these my Kais? I have Kai ones like this because the Gingers don't make these anymore. So I bought some Kai ones that I have at home that I absolutely love too. It had 2 pairs of those. Uh-oh. Where are we? Do I still have you there? And then it had like somebody had made like a cushion, there was so much good stuff in there. You know when you just feel like the luckiest girl in the world? That's how I felt. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm the luckiest girl in the world. I just won this amazing basket. You know how you go and you keep checking? You want to see, did anyone else bid? Do I have to like increase my bid? Mine's too tight. I'm going to loosen this. Then nobody, which goes, oh, nobody there says. But whoever donated that, I always thought, oh, they did such a nice job. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put together a gift basket for the next one. All right. Here we go. Let's slide it onto the machine. It's pretty snug. Like I really had to jam it in there. So it's pretty snug. Let me go ahead and slide it on. Now, if I had an 8x12 design up there, hi Cindy. If I had an 8x12 design and then I slid on my 5x7, it would tell me to change to a larger hoop. But because I had a small design and I put on a bigger hoop, it's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and touch this. And then let's go ahead and go home. Home will clear your screen. Let's grab our handy dandy chart, Crunchy Leaves. That's on page 42. Here's this. And we are putting in plaid 3. All of this information is all here. So it's all here. I just put it on one sheet where it's all together. So I'm going to go embroidery, pocket, my USBs here, and I have a falling into autumn folder. We're going to go background quilting first. And they've added this because sometimes you're going to do your background quilting first and sometimes you're going to do it second. After quilting, go to the embroidery. So we're going to do our background quilting first. That's what I learned from, which one were we doing? It was one of the cuties. So that's something new that you kind of have to pay attention to. We are doing plaid 3, the 6x8 design. So let's go right here. IMPES. And here is my 6x8. I like the plaid. Plaid's kind of nice. And then we're going to add. Let's go ahead and add. And the design we're at is going to be Crunchy Leaves. Let's go here again. Back to my Falling into Autumn. I have my embroidery files here. PES. And we are looking for Crunchy Leaves. And these aren't necessarily in order. I have my 5x7 hoop selected. I can see the outline back right there. So I'm going to go up here. Let's switch over to an 8x12. And I think you can use either an 8x12. You can use an 8x12 or a 7x12. You could use, here's your size right here. You could use a 9.5 by 9.5. Anything that these dimensions are going to fit into, you could use. Here's the best thing I ever did. I'm reading your comments right now. Did you find that? Da-da-da. My hair, no. And you welcome for all the videos. So Patrick went great. And like, I like him silver. I do. Because he had dark hair. I'm going to touch embroidery. What that's going to do is it's going to combine my designs and take me to the screen from which I stitch out. Now they're combined, the quilting with the Crunchy Leaves. And I'm going to scoot it all the way to the top. Move. And I wait until I go to this page and I wait until my hoop is on the machine. Because when your hoop's on the machine and this counts, this is down, then it won't let you slide it up any further than the design goes. So let's go ahead and we're going to stitch out. Color doesn't make a difference right now, so I'm just going to stitch and it is going to do the placement for my batting. Let's grab our batting and our background fabric. Hi, Miss Jacqueline. Where are my Crunchy Leaves? Okay, bigger piece, and here's your background fabric. This is, I think this is either royal icing or coconut cream, and it's really easy to get these two sides confused. So make sure you spray your the Shape Flex side and not the other one. So I'm going to take this off screen. I'm in my spray tent. I'm going to go ahead and give this a little shot of spray. Hi, Miss Alice. Let's lay this down first. You're going to go right inside those lines. When I cut my batting for my filler blocks, I actually cut it a little bit bigger because I feel like sometimes it gets smushed inside. Okay, I'm going to lay this down and center it to my batting piece, and then I'll look at your comment, Miss Alice. I'm still like so smitten with the little pack that you sent me. All right, we need to fast forward. So I'm going to get out of here, touch layout. So this shows me what I'm stitching at, but I'm going to go here to this button where we go forward and backward steps. This is the tack down for the batting. Placement for your background, tack down for your background, and that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to leave the orange in. The orange will be a nice contrast. It'll make it easier for me to fussy cut around it to square off my block. And then as far as quilting stitch, up to you, but I'm just going to go linen. I think it's like something, if I did do another color, I think I would do something light, just because it can get a little bit busy. Now, we challenge ourselves to find the linen thread. Here it is. Linen. When you have background quilting that has parallel lines that need to be straight, does it matter if your fabric isn't? It matters if your fabric is like, if you're like this, it doesn't make a difference, right? Who cares? As long as it's not like totally cattywampus, and even then I don't think it makes a difference, but you know, then you start sewing on the bias and things like that. I think it only makes a difference depending on the fabric that's underneath it. And as long as you're as long as you're non-directional, then it doesn't make a difference. Just lay it down there. But I try to be mindful when, like, see, this is the hay ride. But again, that was just on solid fabrics, so it really didn't make a difference. Because my mind likes it, I try to make everything lay down straight. My mind likes straight and even and perpendicular. Okay, background quilting. Let's get our applique pieces. So it looks like we need a piece of mylar. Here are my applique pieces. I'm going to spray some of them at a time. You don't need to spray all of them. I think the first thing we're going to lay down looks like... I don't remember my leaves anymore. If you're from the East Coast, you learned your maple leaf, you learned your oak leaf. I think these would this one be the maple and this would be the oak? And even the oak I thought had like indentations. But I don't, it's been so long and all I have here is like pine trees. And I think I had like a silver, do I have a maple? I think I have a choke cherry. I'm pretty sure I have a choke cherry. But you do all of those and you do remember like the crayon rubbings and all of that stuff. I don't know if they do that out here, if everyone learns their leaves. So I think I need the red one first and then the green one. I'm just going to spray a bunch of them. We'll see which ones we need first. Leaf 1 tack down. That's going to be this. Leaf 1 mylar, and then the mylar is going to go on it. Then you're going to do leaf 3 and 9. 3 and 9 I think are the green ones. So you need 2 pieces of green. So I'm just going to start with these. Yeah, I try to be wild and crazy and just be like I like symmetry. So, and then it doesn't always work out for me. I feel like I'm being, bold when I like lay something down crooked. This stitch out is 3 minutes. I'm gonna grab a sewing machine. Okay, I went and got a, what did I get? A lyric? I grabbed something, $13.50, and I'm gonna piece those pieces for my filler next time I have some time. Okay, and now it says stitch the leaf one placement line, and it says color does not make a difference. This is now our first step after the quilting, so I'm just gonna leave the linen in, and I'm gonna grab the Pinot. Yeah, do you remember that? Making like a little leaf book? My mom drove my friend and I around. And yeah, I remember. Did anyone do this project, like which I thought was so cool? Do you remember getting mushrooms, and then you could take the caps off and then lay them down on paper, and then it would drop? Is it the spores? Like it would drop those, and you know, in the pattern of the mushroom. I thought that was so cool. Let me grab the other thing I thought was so cool was around fall time. I think it was fall. Is that when we had, look at me, I gotta go. Woolly caterpillars. I loved woolly caterpillars. I don't know why those were, gypsy moths were so disgusting, but the woolly caterpillars were so adorable. So is this is the maple leaf, right? This one's our maple leaf. Oh, grape rubbings. I don't know if we did grape rubbings. I don't remember that. I think old graves are so cool though. Hi, hey, what's up, Sebastian? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Looking good, brothers.
As always.
As always. Check out the tat.
Yeah.
Sebastian's here. Sebastian used to work for us. He's coming and visiting, so I was just saying hi to him.
He got fired.
Nice.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. Very trippy.
Yeah. You're going to have to come back when I can visit with you. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the type of embroidery that I go, wish I had done this on my scan and cut. Oh, and Michelle and I, as per the request of Miss Deanna, when we're gonna scan and cut the nativity, which is gonna be nice, right? So I think I'll just stick with this for most people because I think most people aren't doing it on their ScanNCut. But then that'll be a good introduction. And who knows, maybe I'll do it and I'll be like, I'm never going to cut my applique fabrics again. Because we're already pre-prepped. I think that's one of the reasons that keeps me from doing it would be the idea of having to prep every single piece to use with the ScanNCut. But we're pre-prepped. Like, we're already prepping everything. So to me, it totally makes sense. How many of you are ScanNCutting it? Like you're using your Cricut or your we sell ScanNCut, so we believe it's the best. I know a lot of people love their Cricut and they're wonderful machines too. But how many of you are ScanNCutting and you have all your applique pieces ready? You just lay them down. I think I've never done it, but I think they just make it a click or two bigger. And then you don't have to deal with this nonsense. Like this embroidery is going to take us a long time because of all the innies and outies with our, that we're going to have to cut right here. For me, it's a little bit easier too because I cut with both hands. So I don't have to like take my hoop out and change the orientation of my fabric. I just switch my scissors back and forth. And I've learned that I can really contort, which I didn't know until I started doing like, this isn't natural. I shouldn't be able to put my hand all the way over here. This has a lot of innies and outies. This is a good time to actually take it off of the machine. And this one is going to have a satin stitch. I think it has a satin stitch, doesn't it? Oh, this looks like it might have the Kimberbell stitch. So we do want to get, if it was a satin stitch, I'd be like, oh, don't worry about this little innie. So do your best. Older version and not confident with using it. So we've always been a ScanNCut store, but once the auto blade, I wouldn't be confident either because I know with those you have to adjust your stitch depth, your pressure and your stitch, it's pressure and, is it depth? Something like that. So the new ones are so great because they just auto cut, right? It has an auto blade. All right, Mylar. Before we go ahead and go any further, it says stitch the leaf, trim the fabric close to the stitch line, place the leaf one Mylar over the leaf and tape in place. So let me grab my Mylar. I'm just gonna lay it down because once it's done, you're okay. And if it, scrunches up, that doesn't make a difference either. You're going to stitch the leaf one decorative stitch, leave your pinot in, and I'm just going to go ahead and stitch. And once it starts stitching, you should be good to go. Colleen, then that'll be a good lesson for you and for me because I've never cut all my applique pieces. The only thing I've cut, which I absolutely loved and it was pretty easy, was I cut my, we did French Roses, a French Roses class, so I cut all my pieces for the French Roses class on the ScanNCut. So anytime Michelle and I have done like a collaborative project, I let her do the ScanNCut part and I do the other parts. But I'm going to put on my big girl pants and I am going to cut my pieces for the nativity bench pillow. With the help of Michelle, and it is going to be amazing. So that'll be a good time for us for those of us who haven't been using our ScanNCut, to challenge ourselves to get it out and cut those pieces. I'm not Canadian yes, you can recognize. That's why I was like, this is definitely a maple leaf. I recognize it from the flag too. They use the S that comes with Kimberbell and Sweet Pea don't fit right when, oh yeah. I don't think they fit right. I think you have to like click it up and I could be making this up because I do that. I make things up in my head. Stitch the Mylar, place the Mylar over stitch the leaf 1 mylar tack down line and fill, remove the tape, carefully tear away the excess mylar, and then we're going to do the decorative outline. Okay, so we're going to pull this away. I always pull, for some reason this didn't cut. Let's just go ahead and cut it. Sometimes it just doesn't. Not a big deal. I'm going to pull inward. I always pull in towards my embroidery. And this is a good time to have your precision tip tweezers too, so you can grab any of the little bits and pieces that were left behind. Oops, look at that. That is cute. Okay, now it's decorative stitch time. Just go ahead and hit start. You're using the same color. And then we're going to go ahead and place the green leaves. For the color, I am going to grab... Where's my green? Where's my green? I'm going to use sage. Look away, Alice. Although your sage is going to be on its way. I put it with your other stuff with your 2 kits. But I'm going to use sage for the next one. I think that looks like the best. So those of you that scan and cut, is it 2 clicks? Is it 1 click? What do you do to make yours fit perfectly? I know Michelle knows. She's kind of an expert. If you skip the Mylar, it's just going to do the decorative stitch, which is adorable. Let's look at that decorative stitch. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to pull it forward. So it's going to do the decorative stitch. Here we go. Do you see that? Let me see if we can see how cool that is. So it's going to do the decorative stitch, and if you don't like the Mylar, don't do it, right? Don't do anything you don't like. We don't need to. We do what makes us happy. And I love when people do different things because, you know, there's probably like thousands of us that have the same quilt. So it's always fun to see somebody do something different and you go, oh, look at that. Look, so did anyone see that somebody did Oh So Delightful, and they did it, I want to say, and I could be making this up, that it was like beige background and very like tone on tone. And it was so cute. I just loved it. Stitched the leaf 3 and 9 placement line, and I was like, oh my God, like that looks amazing. So it's always fun to see what you do, what other people do. My pieces are already sprayed, but you have 2 pieces of green. That's what you're going to be putting down. Cheryl does 2 clicks. But look at that Mylar. And it looks pretty cool. I actually think you can wash Mylar. That's one of the things I think you can wash. All right, remember, this is my therapy. My brain tells me, oh, do this one and then use the leftover here, but what am I going to do with all these scraps? So my therapy, this is my self-imposed therapy for my hoarding and my inability to throw away little pieces of fabric, is to just use them and be okay with throwing them away and not thinking about them. Like the girls at the store know to purge when I'm not looking. I'm like, don't let me see you. I go, yes, throw that away. Don't let me see you do it. I am totally the type to see something, not if it's gross, but see something in the trash and pull it out, like a shipping bag. I'm like, I can use that shipping bag. Because it hurts my heart every time I throw something in the garbage, because I just think about the landfills. And it's funny because Kai is the same way. Like, totally. He's worse than I am. Worse. Believe it or not, he's worse than I am. Okay. Wait, read the directions first. It says, stitch the placement line, stitch the tack down, and trim close to the stitch line. So Kim says she uses her scan and cut all the time. Oh my God, Kim! I need to do... Okay, we're going to do that too, because I have never done that. So I don't know how many of you have never done that. There are people that come in here and they're like, oh yeah, I don't use a USB. I just send it. Okay, I am going to add that to the list. These are all the things that I know, you get used to doing things a certain way, right? And you get comfortable with it. Doesn't mean that there's not a better way. And I'm challenging myself to, number one, cut the pieces on my scan and cut, which you do not have to do. And the other thing I'm going to challenge myself to do is I am going to send, so you send it with, oh, you know what? I don't know if I can do that because I have the 225 and I think you needed the 330. So maybe what we'll do is we'll use the store one and then I'll send it with the store one. But yeah, we're going to do that too. I got to remember that. Let me take this off. Anytime there's lots of turning, I will take it off because it's just going to be easier. I don't want to do those things. They make me uncomfortable. I just want to keep doing it the old way. I tell people in the store, sometimes they'll come in and they'll be like, but I really like my machine. And I go, well, it's kind of like a boyfriend. You might like that boyfriend, but this other boyfriend might be better. And you might like him even more. So that's what I tell myself. I go, okay, how I'm doing it right now is or it's like an old pair of slippers. I am the type of person that if I buy a pair of slippers and I love them, I'll go out and buy another pair because I'm so scared that they're going to discontinue them. So I have 2 pairs of the same blue slippers that are made by North Face, and they did discontinue them, but I found a pair on eBay that were new, and now I have 2 pairs. All right, what are we doing now? We just did this. We just trimmed the fabric close to the stitch line. And now we're going to stitch leaf 3 and 9 decorative outline. There is no mylar in this one. Colleen, I am in the same boat as you. So we'll just, for those of you who are like Colleen and myself, we're just going to challenge ourselves. If we have the capability, number one, we're going to send our design wirelessly, which I know is going to be so easy. And I'm going to go, okay, why haven't I been doing that? I think you can also, can you send it through your software? I've never done that either. I still am old school and going USB. And then the other thing is we are going to cut our pieces for nativity. And if you're not doing nativity, no big deal. I just want, you can watch the process and just challenge yourself to do it with the other project you have sitting on your shelf of good intentions. Cheryl, next year we'll get you plugged into the whole, I guess it's their whole web of connecting products. We don't know for sure, but we're thinking next year will be the year. I feel better. Just being busy.
Stay busy. That's what we do. We get through it.
All right, next step. Stitch the leaf 2 and 7 placement line. let's see what color those are. I think leaf 2 and 7 are going to be, ooh, I have one color and one the other color, but, oh no, wait, here we go. They're both, because they're the little ones, and this is going to be ginger. So I'm just going to go ahead and change out now. Ginger, change to ginger. Oh my God. Okay, I still can't stop watching Married at First Sight. You know, my grandparents, not that it was a match made in heaven, but they were an arranged marriage. My mom's parents. I honestly don't know about my dad's parents. While it's stitching my placement line, I'm going to go ahead and spray these. I can't stop talking to you. I'm supposed to be piecing right now. What's wrong with me? I don't have time to be chatting. But they were arranged marriage. So, and they were together their whole lives. That being said, my grandfather did have 2 illegitimate sons out of wedlock. Sons were very important back then. Actually, both my grandfathers had other families. I think it was just what you did when you were Korean back in those days. All right. Let's go ahead and put that down, and we're going to put this one down. And let's go ahead and stitch those. So this is step number 9. Stitch the leaf 2 and 7 tack down lines. Trim the fabric close to the stitch line. So we're going to trim those close to the stitch line, and these are going to have mylar. Oh, Patrick yesterday was he was splicing a video for me, and it was, you know, I don't know how you ladies take it, you ladies and gents, but I cannot stand the sound of my own voice. So I made him like turn it way down. I'm like, can you please turn that down? So I appreciate that it doesn't drive you too crazy. All right, let's trim it up. This has a bunch of innies and outies. It's another one of those maple leaves. I'm going to kind of slide this out, and let's go ahead and trim. So my Havels, I should open up another pair here. I can't believe I forgot them. My Havels, I could just, you know, I don't know, the corners on those, they're just the best. Let's see if these are hardy enough.
Huh?
Hey, Violet. Violet's hair working today. Countdown starting, right? I've got 2 more weeks with my precious babies before they go off to school. I read everyone's comments. I went back and read everyone's comments for, when you dropped off your kids. There were so many, like, funny ones. There was a lot about your animals. And I don't know if Kathy Johnson's on here, but I cried when I read yours. Just your post the other day about your dog passing. So I'm so sorry to hear that like that. Oh my goodness. It's so hard. Loss is hard, right? But it just brought me back to like our dog when he passed away, and he would kind of like look at you like, help me, and you're like, it's time. Our pets need to live longer. Okay, that is off. Let me go ahead and find my Mylar, because who knows where I put it. Oh my goodness, there it is. Found it. And I think it only goes on this one up here. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this down. Let me see price. Yeah, those all look right. Yeah, hang on. Well, I want to know where you I need to know, be able to find them. Those are, if you look at the serger feet, they're the upper right-hand corner of the serger feet.
Okay. All of them?
Just the serger feet, the orange and the green ones. Yeah, there we go. Once it catches, we're good. But tape if you want. I should probably be taping, right? But I didn't. So Kim says you can send wirelessly from Embrilliance to the Scan and Cut. I think you can do from software too. But I'm not positive. That's like all the stuff that when they start talking about it, just my ears turn off. Because I go, oh, that's new and scary. I don't want to do that, so then my ears turn off. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is this is step number 10. Here's the picture that goes along with it, step number 10. And it is the Mylar tack down line and fill. Then we're going to remove the tape, which I didn't put on, and carefully tear away the excess Mylar. And then we're going to stitch 2 and 7 decorative outline. So then we'll do the outline of both of the mustardy, mustardy yellow leaves. This one just doesn't have Mylar on it. I'm loving this quilt. I'm really excited to do the, there's going to be a square Thanksgiving pillow too, which I'm super excited. And Nativity, that one looks new and different, so I'm kind of excited to check that out too. Is anyone stitching with me today? Is anyone stitching out? Following it? And I know everyone's kind of on their own schedule. This is just like a nice little time for us to all get together and chat, share good news, stitch, work on some UFO that needs to get done. It's just a nice time to set time aside for yourself. I will not be stitching on Monday. But if I don't do Monday, we'll see what day we can during the week. I'll have to look at the calendar. Because we got to get this done, right? We have other stuff to work on. And these sew-alongs are so important for me because they keep me on track. Otherwise, I might be sitting on the couch right now watching a little bit Married at First Sight. So Violet asked for a subscription to New York Times, which there are often articles there that I want to read that I don't have access to. Doesn't that make you angry when you want to read like an article and then it denies you access? So she had it up, and hi Linda. She had it up, and I saw an article on there about Wham. I don't know if you remember the group Wham with George Michael, and I don't know what the other guy's name is. So I was like, oh, let me read that. And she goes, Mom, you need to read important articles. And then, like, she scrolled to something that was probably more important. I can't help it. I love People magazine. I'm one of those people. I love People magazine. I do love NPR too. Oh, Kim, tell us what's going on with the sewing room. Like, and what was the flood just from the rain, or did something happen? Did you have a pipe burst? So Kai is going to be doing electrical engineering. Cheryl just asked what my kids are going to be studying. So Kai's going to be doing electrical engineering, and then Violet is pre-law, which I love that about both of them. I love that Violet's so interested in current events, what's going on politically, because those are things that, I hate to say this, that I am not as interested in, but I'm becoming more civically aware with her because we talk about issues. Okay, we are going to do, what are we doing now? We just did the two yellow leaves. So now we're going to stitch the leaf 5 placement line. I'm just going to hit start. Colors doesn't make a difference. This one we're going to lay the bigger piece of, I think we're laying this down. And so this one is just, I'm going to use, you could still use ginger, or you could use sand. Sand is going to be the one that goes really well with Muse. Sheila asked Jeannie, what's the name of the next Sew Along project? I'm not sure what's coming out next. I think Nativity, along with the Let's Gather pillow, I think those are going to come out around the same time. So we might do some of the smaller projects, like the there are the jar toppers. For those of you who are going to get those, the jar toppers are probably going to be next. Ooh,
Are these cookies?
one of those is for Linda Lancaster, so grab that. That one you can just price and put underneath, and then the rest can go on the wall.
All right.
Whoops. Wasn't paying attention. Let me get those out of the way. But I'm not positive about that, Sheila, but I'll let you know. The 5/8 single downturn feller. So do you have, hey Cheryl, does your machine do cover stitch? And what kind of fabric is the dress? Is it like a stretchy fabric, or is it like non-stretchy? And what I would do with that, Cheryl, is definitely do like a sample. Like if you're taking it up, maybe do a little sample, because sometimes you might need to use your differential feed. If it's stretchy, it might sometimes it makes the fabric fan out a little bit. But we can talk about it. Okay, I didn't even spray this yet. Can't stop talking. I still haven't pieced my filler blocks. I need to do that. Okay. Lay that down. Go ahead and tack it down. This is step number 13. Then we're going to trim our fabric close to the stitch line. Oh no, our sub pump was like, it worked like crazy when we had all of that rain. We had so much rain, and our sub pumps were going for like days. All right, let me get my sewing machine, this one, hooked up so I can do some piecing. Gotta find a cord that's not being used. Let's try these two. Okay, got a cord. Have a 1/4 inch foot. Oh, that is Scanica. Hang on, let me find a cord. Jamie, are you teaching your class? Do you have a question? I can answer a question.
You said there were 2.
Oh, I answered you. Did you get my email?
Apparently not.
So,
I'm on my
there's
way.
only one event, but you know, there's 2 event kits that she's stitching from. She's stitching from
But I'm on my way to a retreat,
Okay.
so we'll figure it out.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Yep. If you could see me now, like I'm literally crawling under a table.
Do you have any other tasks?
Ask Patrick. I feel like there was some stuff up there. I don't know, maybe break down some of those boxes. Yeah. Alrighty. Where are we at right now? Oh, let's go ahead and trim this. Trim it up. Hi, Katerina. Good to see you. We don't mind if you're late. Better late than never. We are just trimming this up. Oh, hey, Cheryl, if you have the Triumph, like, I would just do cover stitch, right? Wouldn't you? And I think cover stitch is so easy. The only thing complicated about the cover stitch, if you've never done it before, is just like switching over, which isn't a big deal. And then chaining off. You just need to make sure that you know how to chain off. So your dealer should be able to show you that. I also teach a Serger 2 class, and we do the chain stitch, cover stitch, and the combination stitch in our and the wave stitch if we haven't already done that in Serger 1. But yeah, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Everything is going to be okay.
It lasted 2 years.
I don't. It'd have to be a special order. I do not. I do not. It'd have to be a special order.
Do not special order.
Are we talking about the Aliso? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't have any in right now. It have to be a special order.
So that's the only cord that our irons are carrying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like cordless is really convenient, but it just stopped working.
Love it. Yeah, but no, the bottom is up. Okay, thanks. Sorry. We can order it for you though if you decide that's what you want. How long would it take to get here?
A week.
What?
A week.
Yeah.
No, more than a handful of days, Patrick. It would take a week.
About it. I might call you guys. So.
Here we go. Looking cute. Okay, where are we at? That was step number 13. Step number 14 says stitch the leaf 5 decorative outline. Go ahead and slide this on. You can leave ginger in there. Ginger will look really pretty. Or you can put in sand. Sand's the other color that goes with this. This is the, if you can see, that one's a little bit darker. And then this one's just the traditional mustard fabric. Although I call it Muse because the part number is MAS 500-MUSE. So I call it Muse, but I think that stands for like mustard. Okay, let's stitch. And then you're going to get ready to place down your orange fabric. Look, I don't have a problem. I'm throwing this all away. In the trash can. Even this one. Look at this big old piece. In the trash. So you have, I think you have two pieces left. We have the leather and then we have the orange. Do we have more than that? Let me see. Because it looks like there's two. Oh, there might be two for this that I didn't cut this down. Let me look at my instructions. I never cut those little embellishments down. The camel leather, yes, it does have you using those in two little pieces. I'll probably lay one down, trim it, and lay the other one down and trim it.
I call it moving parts, they call it additional parts.
We've got 2 minutes of that. That's perfect. I can press. I can piece and press. I'm going to turn on my iron. Turn on my sewing machine after I plug it in. Put on a 1/4 inch foot. Oops. Uh-oh. Sorry. Sorry about that. It was dangling. I don't know why that happens. Bad camera arm. Bad. She went shopping the other thing and asked her to pick up matching thread. Side with the down. Oh! I have never used the cover stitch with the downturned feller foot. I've never done that. I need to do that. I want to do that, Cheryl. Let me see if I have some Deco Bob here. I love piecing with Deco Bob. It's my favorite because it's thin thread. Here we go. What do I have for my bobbin? I'll just grab this. I'm not too fussy or picky. Leftovers. Like, this is how bad it is in my house. Kai will say, he'll be so full, but he's like, I don't want to throw it away. So he'll just keep eating it. Luckily, he has amazing metabolism like his father, and he works out. I'm like, Kai, it's okay. You can throw that food away. You do not have to eat it. Especially if it doesn't taste good. If it doesn't taste good, we leave it for Patrick to eat. Okay, let's see. What's next? That was the decorative outline. Now it wants you to stitch leaf 6 and 8 placement line, and that's going to be the camel colored. And the camel, let's see what thread. I think cappuccino is going to be the thread that goes best with this. Let me see if I have it here. Here's my cappuccino. It's perfect. So let's go ahead and put that in. Poor Patrick. We call him Daddy Garbage Can. You need one of those in every family because you don't want to waste the food. So somebody needs to eat it. But if it's bad, you don't want it to be you. Sorry. So Kai will eat stuff too that I just put in the wrong color. Went on autopilot and threaded the machine up with the wrong color. I have an issue with my fridge. My fridge, Sage, whenever she comes, she cleans it out. Because I have trouble throwing away food that I paid money for. I know. You know all my dirty secrets. This is my chance. This is therapy. This is where I engage in therapy. And he doesn't have a good metabolism. Cindy. I love leftovers. Like, leftovers are like my favorite thing, as long as they're good leftovers, which most of the time in our house, they're good leftovers. I love them. Like, we all think about them in our house. We're like, oh, can't wait to eat that when I get home. All right, I'm just gonna hold this down. I'm gonna let it stitch this one first. I'm gonna trim it and then I'll lay the other one. And these are trimmed as desired, which means I like to have a little bit of, I like having like 1/8 inch. So I'm gonna stitch this one, and then what I'm gonna do is when it's done, I'm gonna hit this button when it cuts, and that way I can trim it, and then I'll put it down over here. I know there's people that won't eat leftovers, which to me is amazing, and there's no judgment, right? I wish you lived with me, because then I could eat your leftovers. Let's put our foot up. That to me is like the best. When you go out to dinner with somebody, I want my curved straight scissors to do this. When you go out with somebody and then they go, oh, I don't eat leftovers, you can take it. I love that. We have good leftovers in our house.
I'm sorry. All right, but let me hit your garage sales, girl.
Yeah. Actually, it's shops like this that have machines that aren't fixable anymore.
Yeah.
And sometimes
The only
I
thing
have.
is without a part number, we wouldn't really know what it was.
Right, how do you find, yeah.
So your Kenmore van will have a part number.
It probably does.
So a part number and a picture is something that needs to carry. Yeah, scan it, carry it in your wallet.
Yep.
Cause you never know when it's gonna pop up, you know?
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Cute. Let's lay down the next one. Whoop. Okay, Cheryl, I'm gonna go out to lunch with Charlie, and then I'll take home all the leftovers. Charlie's my dream date. Let's put it down like this. We even have a restaurant here. You guys have probably, well, people who are from Reno maybe have been there. It's Tokyo Sushi. I love Tokyo Sushi. We call it, in our house, we call it better the second day sushi. Because it tastes like even better the second day. We always get the 3-roll meal, and it comes with 3 rolls, 2 pieces of, or 2 orders of sashimi, and then like 2 appetizers. And I don't eat a ton, so then I have the most left over the second day, and the kids don't have as much. But then I feel bad eating it in front of them, so then I end up sharing it. So whereas my second day sushi could last me 3 days, it only lasts me 2, because I have to share it with everyone at my house who's staring at me, wishing they could eat my better the second day sushi. Am I using the right ones? Wrong! Grab the wrong ones. Here they are. I've got a lot of turning, so. Alice, is this an oak leaf? Get out your leaf book. Which one is this? I think this is oak, right? Pretty soon, yeah, pretty soon they will be off. I like, Patrick orders me these really good nachos here, and I literally, there's so much like So there's the toppings. There's like so many of them. And so I probably eat like an eighth of it. And then I brought it home for the kids, because the kids were always like, what'd you have for lunch? And I was like, here, I brought this. They devoured it. I was like, well, it would have been nice if I could have had like one chip. A pin oak. Whoa, Sans. You're fancy, Cindy. You even know the type of oak. I never even knew there was anything called a pin oak. Okay, we are on step number.
So we can do this in one of two ways. Either
That was number 16. Now we're gonna stitch the leaf 4 placement line. I'll just leave the same color in, and leaf 4 is gonna be your big piece of burnt orange fabric. I'm gonna give that a little shot of spray. A pin oak. Excuse me, can any of my oak experts confirm that? Is it indeed a pin oak? I'm just kidding with you. I believe you. There are many variations of oak trees, but I believe is an oak leaf. Oh wait, hang on, I got it. There's a heart in the way.
Or if
That
you want,
it's a pin oak, is what we think. I love that you know that. Graydon, perfect. Just create things to do. Okay. Yeah,
We've been
whatever
cleaning
you
and
want.
organizing.
I love it. Oh my God. Again, I'm just sitting here. Focus, Jeannie. Get out your filler stuff. Let's start piecing. Just daydreaming. After this, we're gonna lay down the orange fabric, and then it's gonna stitch it down. And while it's doing that, I'm getting out my filler block right here. So here's the fabric for one filler block, and here's the fabric for the other filler block. The other thing I like is I like a where's my chain stitching cutter? I don't know where it is. It's okay. I'll just cut them just like, just by hand. Uh-oh. Shoot. I think it goes like that. Doesn't make a big deal. We can fix it. Where did I put the fabric of my life? Okay, tack down. But I'm gonna use, which color should I use? Burnt orange. Let's use my burnt orange. I'm gonna take out my cappuccino. Let's stitch it down. And while it's stitching, I'm gonna come over here. Let's lay down my pieces of fabric. My cord is this wrapped around something? There we go. There we go. So let me thread her up. So number one, I'm just using a pre-wound bobbin in here. This is it's the same thing I use when I do my embroidery. I'm going to use Deco Bob in my upper. If you've never used Deco Bob, I love it. I like Deco Bob. This is an 80 weight thread. So when you see this spool, this is 2,000 meters. So it's like double what you would have for like Orfill or confetti, which is what we carry here in the store. It's a cottonized polyester. And so I think that means that it's like polyester wrapped with cotton or the opposite. We have stopped her for some reason. Ooh, what happened here? Let me see if there's like some kind of finishing stitch on this, because I am cutting some of those threads, but I don't know what happened. We're gonna check. Let's check our thread. I'm gonna pull it down, make sure there's no burrs on it, which there aren't. Since this is our tack down and it's gonna trim, I'm gonna check my bobbin. Bobbin could be a culprit. And I don't really see anything going on down here. And I do want it to finish. Was that it? Let's see. Nope, they only did 3. But I'm going to redo my bobbin, because you never know. Looks good. My mama ears didn't hear anything. My mama embroidery ears. Usually you'll hear something. I've got looks like an 80-12 microtex. I'm going to rethread my upper too. Might as well, just to be on the safe side. I'm going to go back a couple of stitches. I'm not going to do the whole double stitching all the way around, but I'll make sure it goes around at least once. And we're going to fix that. So it's really bulky right here, and that's one of the things I don't want to. Sometimes when it goes through something really bulky, I almost feel like I want to pull that stitch out. It's a good time for your tweezers. Hi, Tina. Uh-oh, what's that?
Quesadilla.
Oh, yeah.
They sent us 2.
Let's grab. Sometimes I just like to get rid of the bulk. I don't know, did you guys see what happened? I couldn't see because I was busy trying to be productive and multitasking. Okay, we're just gonna go for it. So I need to go back some stitches. Not a big deal. You can see right here, maybe I can't really blow it up, but you're gonna have that little green cursor. So I need to get back to this other leaf. So I'm going to just go back -10, -10. Maybe that'll be it. Oh, look at it's my needle's over here. That's not what I want. I want it over here. -10. There I go. -10, -10. Okay, I'm going to go from right there, and hopefully it'll stitch down that whole thing. Okay, locking stitch, and now on to the next one. Perfect. That's what I want. A white oak. Ooh, Cindy's an expert. Many oaks, but it looks like a white oak. What about the what? The green leaf. What is this one? Yeah, what is that green leaf? Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm Googling different leaves. Different tree leaves. Oh, look at that. I'm not good at doing a screen share. That's too complicated for my little brain. Oh, look at that. So that leaf right there. So this is what I'm going to, because I'm not good at doing see what I just pulled up on my screen? English oak. That's what I think that other one is. And then is it this? Is it the horse chestnut or the field maple? No, the field maple has too many curvy things. This to me looks like a sesame leaf. That the creed. Is it? No, it's not ivy. I would go with horse chestnut. However, we need more leaves. That wasn't enough. That was not enough. Oh. Is it liquid amber? I didn't know I was going to become a leaf expert today. Bet you didn't know either. All right. There's a lot of trimming here. Come on. Settle in. I'm going to actually take this off and put it on my lap. Looks like MJ to me. What's MJ? Is that something cool people say? Because I never know how to say anything cool. All right. I'm just going to go back and forth. Let's switch. So you know the double curved, I feel like lets you get the closest because it curves up like that. I don't know if that's for sure, but I feel like I get really close with curved scissors. Closer because I've tried. Sometimes I'm lazy and I'm just holding my curved. Oh, it's yeah, I'm totally not cool. It's the you're right. That is. That's marijuana. Kimberbell put a marijuana leaf in their quilt. If you look at your screen, it's going to take 2 minutes to stitch the decorative stitch around this. Let's just call it a green leaf. I like thinking about like things that I haven't thought about in a long time, like childhood memories. I like thinking about making a little leaf book. All right, we're gonna leave that color in there. I burnt orange. I'm gonna go ahead and just let it do its decorative stitching. While it's doing that, I'm gonna turn to the page in my book that has changed to single needle plate. Let's see. My machine here is telling me to change to the single needle plate. So I'm gonna go back and I think it's because am I set for a twin needle? Let me get off of that. Settings. Free motion off. Free motion plate. Where's my twin needle? Here it is. That's on. I want to turn that off. Oh, gotta go down. Off. There we go. Twin needle off. Perfect. I should be good now. Straight center stitch. Let's get my guide and lay it out. Not that it makes a difference. I think you could do these in any order, but here is the order they want you to put it in. So I'm gonna do brown, green. Oh, look at, I already have it in the order. And then I'll just stitch them in pairs. And then we'll press and, so we're gonna chain stitch right now. I personally like to piece at a 1.8 stitch length. I like it really tight. I'm going to go 1.8. I'm already set for a center stitch. If you want, you have a little bit of tolerance here. I could move my needle maybe to the left like one click, but I'll just go ahead and leave it. And pay attention to if you have right to right. These already are pressed with best press, so they're going to have a little bit of memory there, but if you want to get your best press and press it again, I mean best press again. I'm going to start with my needle down and my, oh, and I'm going to turn on my auto pivot. I like that. So it wants me to lower it down. Lower the press. Lower it manually. This one is directional and it wants the stripes up and down. You could pin too. I love my, I use my magic pins, I like the extra fine. Hi. Is it just junky? Yep, get rid of it.
Trash?
Yep. Oh, my auto pivot's not on. This is your auto lift. I'm going to turn that on, which means and the light's on. Every time you stop, I'm just going to go ahead and let it do a stitch. It'll raise the foot for me so I can just tuck that under. So if you have that feature and you don't use it, you should challenge yourself to use it, right? Okay, my machine's ready for something else. So let's go back over here. All right, now it wants us to, which machine are you using? I was just on, the brother version's the 1350, the baby lock version is the soprano. Let me turn to my page. We are almost done with this. I know it's taking us quite a while. We are doing, so we just did the decorative outline stitching over there. That was step number 19. Now we're going to leave the same color in for the next two steps, step 20 and 21. We're just going to use that same burnt orange. Alice is going to go. 7 o'clock dinner. That sounds wonderful. KBD is doing a Zoom platform. Isn't there a limit on the amount of people on a Zoom? There is. It depends on what kind of subscription you have. So they'll be fine. They're on some kind of subscription where it is unlimited. We are working tomorrow, so I will be in and out of Kimberbell Day intermittently, but I'm going to try and be there as much as I can. I'll see you there. They're going to send you a link, and you can log on as early as 30 minutes. I think 30 minutes before the event. I don't know why you'd want to hang out there, but you could, you know, say hi to everyone. But I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. I'm just talking to Alice right now. Alice, I'll see you tomorrow and have a great night. Have a great dinner. I'll eat your leftovers. Hi, Miss Annetta. Are you getting out of work? Oh, how cute does that look? That looks pretty darn adorable. Okay, so you're going to do this decorative stitching, and then you're going to do leaf 2, and then we're going to be putting in step 22. I'm going to put in the ginger, so it's like a little bit bolder than just the other one, just the sand. Go ahead and hit start again, and I'm going to put my ginger in. You're not seeing this, but I'm still piecing too. Piecing those squares. Okay, let's put ginger in. I was just piecing these because I haven't done my filler blocks yet. Ginger. Let's go ahead and hit start. It's just a minute of stitching.
Is there a photo stabilizer back here?
I put it back on the table. It's right around the corner. Okay, so I just cut these apart. I'm going to press them and then I'm going to piece the other pieces on there. And it depends. A lot of times I'll press it to the dark side. But these we're just going to be, we're not stitching in the ditch at all. So I'm just going to press them flat. I did bring my clapper, if you want a clapper. But for me to get my clapper, I have to literally climb under the table. So I'm just going to... This was a super light color. It's not that light. I really want to go to the dark side. What's next? What is next?
Going.
Okay, Peanut, I love
I'll
you.
help you with the website too.
Okay, I'll see you tonight. Thank you. We are on step. Oh, it's going to be the same. So now we're on step number 23. This is 23 and we're leaving in the same color. Go ahead and hit start. And then we're going to go to the dark brown. So the dark brown for 1, 2, 3 for the next 3 steps. So go ahead and get your dark brown or your brunette, whatever you want. And keep pressing over here.
So have you never used agitation on your blue carpet to date?
Silver blocks. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. Here we go. Okay, next 3 steps are going to be this dark brown. And I'm going to come back over here and piece the rest of mine. That was convenient for my filming arm to just take off. Get your book again, because now I don't know what order I need to do these. So it looks like this is okay. This purple, It's just so skinny. Oh, and I'm just gonna hit start on my machine. Because remember, it was gonna be 3 steps with that brown. So it just did my first step. So now it's doing the brown in the leather leaf. I love a 1/4 inch foot with a flange. I know not everyone is a fan of that. But I like a flange. I like a physical, something physical that I can run my fabric next to. Okay, and then I'm just gonna hit start again on my machine. So it's now stitching on the little green leaf. Because remember, 3 steps that have that. I'm just gonna go ahead and add the last one. So this one, we add each one. Okay, I'm just going to finish stitching these 2 and then we'll get back to the embroidery and then I'll press these and these will be ready and we can do the filler blocks next. This is, and we're just going to put the orange on here. Gorgeous. Hopefully you were able to see that. All right. Is this so sweet? I just love this. These crunchy leaves. So crunchy leaves. What's our next step? We're gonna put in our burnt orange for the last 2. Is it burnt orange or is it Pinot? Let's see. This looks like, actually it looks like the Pinot. Pinot. I'm not a wine drinker, but I should be able to say that right? Okay, put in your Pinot. Stitch away. I'm going to press my other blocks. I like pressing open if I can, but sometimes it's just not appropriate, right? I think for what we're doing right now, it's totally fine. Go ahead and just hit start again on your machine. The next one is going to be the same red. And those are ready. And I think that's going to be it. Step number 28. Once we're done with this, we're going to remove the block from the hoop. Yay. Oh my goodness. What's next? Go team. Warm drink. Oh, the squirrels and the acorns. Oh my God. The scented candles. We have some good stuff coming up. I really want to do the filler blocks. I know that's kind of out of sequence, but let's do the filler blocks. I'm going to see what hoop. We don't have to do them all, but let's do some of them just so you can get an idea. And I'm going to try and load them into my 8x12 hoop. So, or you know, yeah, let's do that. Look how cute that is. Oh my goodness. I just love it. All right, so we just finished this one. That Mylar, I love it, especially in the yellow leaf. It looks so good. So cute. Okay, I was doing my, on this, I was doing my autumn corner blocks. So let me make some room first of all, because we can get rid of the sewing machine now, because all I had to do was that little bit of piecing. I'm going to turn it off. Put my foot back on.
And then let me know, because I didn't know you had to do that.
And we're going to get set up. Put the foot away. I loved this, but this is from, do you remember this one from the Elissimo? They don't even, it's not the foot we use now, but I loved that one. Take this out. I think an 8x12 would be a good size. The quilting, or one of them, is going to be, I want to say 2.5 by 10.5. So why not use that? Because we can fit a bunch of different quilting designs in it. Whoop! Caught it with my heel. I'm like a ninja. So I did bring some stuff that I had pre-cut. This is leftover. This is what I'm going to do to piece my back. So I never use whatever fabric they send. I take all the leftovers and piece the back. And if I have an oops block, then I'll put it in the back too. So far, I don't have an oops block. It is so cute. The detail is really adorable. What is this? You know what? We could go this way. Do I have I usually cut my 12-inch. It looks like I have a lot of sizes that don't fit. Hang on a second. Let's get organized. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to hoop sideways, which you can do. It's not always the most effective way to hoop. Because I feel like when you're using an 8x12, where you're losing your fabric is here on the sides. Hang on, I'm at the store, so I can do whatever I want. I'm going to go cut a 12-inch strip. Be right back.
Yeah, so it's on the
I said some really important stuff just then too. Yeah, when I moved my mic, I have like a boom mic. When I moved it, I always grab it and it mutes it. So sorry about that. Thank you. I'm back. We're back. So, I was just talking about different hoops and different size stabilizers. And like, I like stabilizers in all the different widths depending on my hoop. So when I'm using an 8-inch hoop, I like 12-inch stabilizer. So my 8x8, my 8x12, and my 5x7, I prefer 12-inch stabilizer. If I'm going 9.5 by 14, I like 15-inch stabilizer. If I am using my 10.5 by 10.5 or any of the 10.5-inch hoops, I like the 20-inch stabilizer. And for my 6x10 and my 4x4, I like 10-inch stabilizer. So I really like carrying OESD because it comes in 10, 15, and 20. And we have in the past carried the Baby Lock, but we're going to be switching over to all of the Kimberbell stabilizer. Not yet. We don't have it yet. As of right now, I special order all of that for people. And we have a little bit of it in the store, but we're going to switch over. And they have the 12-inch. This filming arm doesn't work. I wonder if Patrick can fix this. Patrick can fix everything. Cheryl says, do you use glide thread for other than Kimberbell, and what are your favorite colors? I use glide and isocord at this point. So when I'm doing anything OESD, I use isocord. When I'm doing Kimberbell, I use glide. And then for my other projects, I just use whatever is going to be the best color. And at this point, I feel like I'm intimately connected with my thread. And so I'm like, oh, OESD has that. Oh, glide makes the perfect color. You know what I mean? So I love them. I love all my thread. And I still have a ton of marathon. And I have, if I'm doing Disney, I use the Brother Pacesetter thread. So I'm going to go home. Rebecca says, I was thinking that you were saying, I was telling you my innermost, deepest secrets, which you know all of them anyways. All right. Filler blocks. Now that we have everything ready, because these are my filler blocks right here with the batting. And now we pieced those two long ones. Yeah. I was saying such important things. These are the long ones right here, right? For these, I can't speak. Your batting. Your batting is, when we do these, we are only going to be doing step 3. We're going to skip steps 1. So you know how there's 4 steps? There's placement for batting, tack down for batting, placement for background, tack down for background. We're going to skip these 2 steps. We're going to do placement for background, and we're skipping this step, and then we're going to do the quilting. So we're going to pre-spray our batting and put it down on these pieces. It's going to make our life so much easier. So let's go into embroidery. I know, I was talking for a long time too. Unresponsive. Just happens sometimes. I don't know why. I'm going to turn off my machine. Sometimes it just needs a little reboot. I'm going to slide my hoop off because it's going to ask me to slide it off anyways. Embroidery, pocket. And I'm going to my falling into autumn, and we are going to go into background quilting because these are just going to be background quilting blocks and filler block. Filler block. Filler block. Filler block. Let's do the first ones. Let's look at week 1. Here's week 1. Week 1, we have filler block 6, 7 and 5. Let's put those in. And we can throw away stuff we don't want. Weather 4. So we're going to go weather 4. And this filler block is going to be 4x4 horizontal. This one. Say it. You know what I should really do? Because look at, it's going to be just, well, you know what? We could put these in, then we can put the long skinny one, right? So that's filler block 6. And then filler block 7 is going to be, oh, that's perfect. 4x6, we need a long skinny here. So that one is fruit 5, 4x6 horizontal. Falling into autumn, background quilting. Again, that was fruit 5 and 4x6. There's only one 4x6 on my list, but you want this one. Oh my goodness, I don't think I could have planned it more perfectly. And then the last one is filler block 5, and we're going to put in weave 2, add. Weave 2, and we're doing the 2x10. Okay, now let's go ahead and just do, I move with my finger, and then I'm going to find placement with the move buttons. So I'm going to move this over here. That one's good there. That one's good here. Whoops. You've got to make sure it's highlighted. I'll move him all the way up. And we are good to go. I could move it over if I wanted. Give myself some space. But the fabric's not going to go outside of those blocks. Let's go ahead. I'm new to embroidery and have purchased everything for Oh So Delightful. I do not use Facebook, but wondering how I can get a copy of your handy dandy spreadsheet. Baby Doll Crafts, email me. Just email me and I'll send it to you. And then also I can add you to, I create, for each project, I create a group. So if you've bought Nativity from us, I've put you into a Nativity group. So just email me. I'll add you to the Oh So Delightful group. Not that, you know, there won't be that much more for that, even though I haven't finished mine. But I'll send you the spreadsheet. So just email me, jeannie.a1so@gmail.com. jeannie.a1so@gmail.com. And there's no I in Jeannie. Looks like Jeanne. That's what people call me most. Okay, I just answer to it. I don't care. I answer to anything. Hey you, I answer to that. We're going to say okay. And I'm not going to group. If I knew that all of these had the same color, I would color group, but I'm not sure what they are, and I don't feel like thinking about it right now. So I'm just going to go into embroidery. You're going to see it's going to have all the placement in the quilting, placement, quilting, placement, quilting. So we are, let me see what the first one is. The first one is filler block 6 for me. Where is my book so we can see what fabric is filler block 6? And right now, color doesn't make a difference. I have Pinot in there. Pinot. So I'm just going to leave it just for my placement. Are you still carrying OESD? Yeah, I am definitely going to keep carrying OESD stabilizer. I think they're a perfect complement to the Kimberbell stabilizer, or, you know, the Baby Lock stabilizer, which I love the Baby Lock stabilizer. They're a perfect complement because of the sizing. Because there's a 12-inch, Kimberbell has a 12-inch, OESD does not have a 12-inch. And quite honestly, if I had to choose any size, I love 12-inch. Because I use my 5x7 and my 8-inch hoops so much. I gotta find my book. Let me find my book so I can see which block. Here we go. So I'm just looking on which page? Baby Doll Crafts. I think you're going to love Oh So Delightful. That's like a perfect beginner quilt. 6. So it's the blue, and the arrows are going up and down. So go ahead and find that one. That's the first one we're going to do. Here it is. So what we're going to do is we're not laying our batting down. Oh, shoot. I did that wrong. We didn't even want to stitch out. It doesn't make a difference. But I would skip the laying your batting down right now. And what I want you to do is I want you to get your little spray tent. And we are going to spray the right side, because we're going to put the right side against the back of our fabric. That's the less bumpy side. See how nubby that is? And this side isn't quite as nubby. We're spraying the not as nubby side. Hopefully I'll remember to do it right for the next one. And I usually spray very lightly. I spray a little more liberally when I do the filler blocks on this. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to center it to this. Doesn't have to be perfect. And remember, I cut mine almost the same size. All right. Now I'm going to spray this and we're going to stitch out step 3 and then lay this down. If you lay this down right now and when it goes to do the outline stitch, sometimes the foot gets caught on this. So for the filler blocks, I really think, and I really like a lot of spray on the edges to keep it down. The middle part I don't care so much about. All right. Normally I would have skipped this, but we already stitched it. It doesn't make a difference. Let's go in here. That's how we go forward and backward stitches. I'm skipping the tack down for the batting, and I am going to do this. This is the placement, which we don't normally do when we're doing the quilted blocks. You know what I mean? So we're going to do this step. So go ahead and hit start. And then we're going to lay down our background piece with our batting. So you don't need that first piece because you're laying this down all together. Make sure the arrows are going up and down. And I think we want our quilting stitches to show. Let's see what color they're recommending. So the book is recommending, oh, they recommend that blue, Marlin. All right, let's do it. Marlin, where are you? Here it is. Whoops, mine's looking messy. You know why? I did something the other day for somebody. We were doing class and I go, okay, so the bottom part here, when you put this on your long arm, because she was using thread like this, I go, make sure you pop it shut. And she was like, I didn't know you could open the base. So in case you didn't know that, some of these, the glide thread, you can open up the base and that's what keeps your thread neat, nice and tidy. Because when you put it away, you just pop the thread in there and then shut it. Okay, we're doing the quilting stitch. I like to spray on the side so it stays down. But let's go ahead. We're skipping the next step. That's the tack down for the background. You don't need it. We're going to the quilting stitch. So for these filler blocks, you're going to be doing step 1 and step quilting. So there's 5 steps for each of these. Do step 1 and then do the quilting stitch. Step 3. Do step 3 and then the quilting stitch. All right, after this one, what did we load next? I think we loaded filler block 7. So let's get our book. On page 54, that's where it shows all your filler blocks. And filler block 7 is this one right here. So let's get that fabric and the batting. Here's my spray tent. You are going to spray the right side. This is my right side. You're going to lay it down, center it on your... Ooh, this is way too big. I made it way too big, but you know what? It's okay. I don't even care if this batting gets sewn in. Because it's so thin. It's not like really, really thick stuff. And now we're going to spray that one more time. And we're going to lay that whole thing down. You could, I mean, you should see a little bit of the background fabric all the way around it. And my piece is cut really big, but I'm going to leave it. And don't worry if your piece isn't going all the way to the edge. You're going to press this. It's going to look beautiful. And then you're going to cut to your muslin. So if you're, you know, 1/4 of an 1/8 of an inch shy, you're going to be cutting to the muslin. So it's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, the next one, this is filler block 7. So we are skipping this step, which is placement for the batting. Sorry. We're skipping this step. We're skipping this step. Tack down for the batting. We're doing this step. Placement for the background fabric. So our background fabric is ready to go. And it's already sprayed. The batting is already centered to the background fabric. We're gonna lay the whole thing down. You saw mine was a little too big, but I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna lay the whole thing down. Okay. Try and center it in there. We're going to skip the next step, which is the tack down for our background. We're going to do that one. That's our apples. Okay, book is calling for 7. It wants the green. And should we do that? Which green should I use? I'm going to use this lighter green. Let's see how it looks. Hopefully it looks beautiful. If it doesn't look beautiful, it'll look okay. I'm okay with okay right now. This color is seafoam. Should we do like red apples? Should we do like, this is the issue. Should I do that? What do you think? Waiting for some responses. Do you think that'll just be too much? I'm going to look at their picture. I always end up regretting red. It's always red too. Whenever I do red, that's the one I regret. But doesn't it look cute? Shoot. All right, I'm going green. I bet that one would. Somebody do red and then send me a picture. Nope, didn't even thread. Couldn't remember if I threaded or not. Red would be so cute. Why can I not take chances? Oh my God, Amy! Oh, okay, I'm doing it. Red for, oh, look at you all. Oh my God. Okay. That's what I need. That's why I need to stitch with you. Because sometimes I need a little encouragement from my friends. I need you to go. Because that looked pretty, didn't it? And it's apples. You are right. Red or bust. Okay, here we go. Oops. Didn't even thread for some reason. Here we go. I did, oh, it looks so cute. It looks so cute. So I did, I think it was, you're going to think I'm such a loser. I did red, white, and bloom. And it's not even done yet. I think it's even, I think I just have to add, it might be almost done. And I did the border quilting with a variegated red, white, and blue, and it was so horrible. And I regretted it. So now, and then I did another project. It was the No Place Like Home event. And I did my quilting in one of those, and I can't remember what color, but I regretted it. I made everyone wait while I ripped out the stitches because I couldn't even look at it. It was that bad. But this looks pretty cute. Here, I'll give you a close-up. That's cute, right? Amy, I am queen of like buyer's remorse. So like I buy a couch and I don't like it. I pick out table like countertops and I don't like it. So I'm scared. I am scared of picking something out and not liking it. Painted my whole entire house the color. I didn't like it. It looks cute. I think I like it. Okay, I'm gonna get my last piece ready because now that you see how you do the filler blocks, you can do the rest by yourself. I'm gonna grab one of my long pieces. The long piece is filler block 5. Let me make sure I pick the right one. Filler block 5. Let's get it. Filler block 5 for you. Okay, here we go. Filler block 5 is the one that starts with the yellow. So that's my filler block 5. So go ahead and grab that. Filler block 5. Here's mine. And then you want your batting, which should be, I think it's 2 inches by 10 inches. Ta-da! Okay, spray that first. The right side. Spray the right side. You're going to lay it down the wrong side here. That looks good.
These are the orange choices.
I like the bottom this one. Yeah. And let's go to our steps. Placement for the batting, tack down for the batting. Step number 3 of this is placement for the background. We're going to do that step. We're going to lay it down, and then we're going to skip to the quilting. Thread color it is recommending is, oh, was I wrong for the last one? Oh, I was wrong for the last one. It wanted this like brown. So this one is asking for a green. I'm down with that. I'm going to use this. I haven't even started. Oh my God. That's okay. You can finish it with me someday. That's going to be in the, I'm thinking this is the top. You know, it doesn't make a difference, right? Oh wait, I didn't spray this yet. I'm going off screen. I'm going to spray this. Whoa, that was a lot. I'm not breathing out of my mouth or my nose for a minute.
You can like cover it. Like if it's halfway there, that means the bag is like using some section. But like if it's all the way
Here we go. Looks good. I'm putting the green. Go green. Go green. Cheryl, red, white, and bloom will be sitting on your shelf staring at you. Just like mine. next step, which is tack down, we want the quilting stitch. So you're only doing 2 of the 5. And I'm going to watch this and make sure nothing goes wrong. That's when like something goes wrong, right? When you're like going, nothing's going to go wrong, and then something goes wrong. Oh yeah, Kim, you could have bought a new car. Maybe a leaf. I don't know if you could have gotten like, you know, something that, but oh, who knows? But it's entertainment, right? Some people here in Reno go to the casinos. We buy Kimberbell products. Or our quilting products. Or our sewing products. That's okay. Keeps us out of trouble. This, okay, I gotta tell you, this has been like kind of my least favorite of the quilting stitches in this bundle, but I love this one. I love it long and just going down the center of this. It looks so good. I haven't loved it like as the background fell on like the square blocks, but I love it in this. Oh, no, Cheryl. Oh no, a room of good intentions. Is that too cute or what? All right. So I am actually, just because I have so much to do here at the store and I got to the store late, I'm going to be ending it here. I will finish my homework probably maybe like on Monday, I'm thinking. Patrick and I are going to California this weekend because we're doing a class and a delivery because it's a baby lock. It's a baby lock 10 needle. We can do whatever we want. And so we're sharing that great deal with somebody in Napa. I'm just, so for my homework, I'm going to be doing warm drinks, squirrel and acorns, scented candles, and the rest of my filler blocks. Next time we get together, and I'll let you know, I'll send out an email. We're going to be doing inners and outers, our innies and outies, and then we will just put everything together. So thanks so much for joining me. Reach out if you need a supply list or the spreadsheet or anything. Just reach out. I will see a lot of you tomorrow for the Kimberbell Day event, and have a great evening, and I'll see you later. Bye, ladies.